Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate market statistics are for Pinellas County for January 2025. But Kyle, you say, I am looking at this report and it says December 2024 at the bottom. Why is that? Well, I record this in January. The real estate statistics, the most recent complete set that we have is from December. And we compile all these on the last day of the month to generate this very pretty report. If you would like a copy of it, feel free to click the link down below. There's a nice PDF you can download. So basically, December is the last complete month of statistics that we have. Not a good idea to do day to day or week to week, like weekly reports. Just there's too much variables in an average week. Sometimes you'll hit holidays. Sometimes you'll hit like a stretch of thunderstorms or, just everyone's kind of bummed about something. So month to month is a long enough period of time in real estate that it evens all that out. And then we compare month to month. So we are comparing December 2024 to December 2023. And we do that because during the course of a year, there is a natural ebb and flow of houses going up for sale, as well as the number of people looking to buy a home also ebbs and flows. A lot of times, obviously, holidays, things are usually a little bit subdued compared to, say, the summertime. And also, ending and beginning of school year is also kind of a low point in the year. So it's not really a good idea to compare December to, say, July. You're not going to glean a lot of useful information for that. Market's been a little wild the last couple of years, so I have been looking at the month to month to try to get more of a direct pulse on the market for what's going. Main thing is supply and demand has been pretty finely balanced for the last couple of years. And overall, what we've been having is we'd have 6 months of shrinking inventory and price increases, and then, another 6 months of price declines, usually over the winter time. As inventory build, number of buyers goes down and prices naturally kind of fall a little bit. Now, obviously, Tampa Bay area, the big thing is, we had 2 hurricanes come through. One thing I will say in driving around the area and kind of seeing where the damage is at and stuff like that, by and large, the market has not taken as big of a hit as you would think it would. Hillsborough County especially has held extremely steady throughout the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Median sales price is basically bounced within a $10,000 range. Pinellas County's moved around a little bit more, but what we really have here is 2 separate markets in Pinellas County. So you have the coastal stuff that significantly flood damage. Drywall is torn up to 4 feet, and the only people that can really buy those is cash. So that is its own separate market right now. And then you have everything else, which is the vast majority of the county, which was not affected by Hurricane Milton or Hurricane Helene. Not to say that there was no houses that were damaged or flooded that were not on the coast. I'm just saying that those are few and far between compared to the vast cross-section of the county. And 4 months on now from those hurricanes, the market has not crashed. Things are still relatively steady. And at least anecdotally, both with these delayed statistics, as well as, my own business and the number of people that I'm talking to about buying in the area, there's not really been a lot of diminished demand, which is good. We don't want a market crash. Market crashes are terrible for everybody. Now, if you remember back to your math class, you might remember mean, median, mode. Or in the case of real estate statistics, we usually do average and median. So average is you take 6 houses, you add up the prices of those houses, you divide it by 6. That gives you the average sales price. Median sales price is a little different. With median sales price, let's say that you have 60 houses that sold in a neighborhood. The median sales point is the point at which there is an equal number of homes that sold for more as there are for less. Personally, I like median better because the market does not swing as much with median sales price, whereas average, if you have a large number of very inexpensive or just very expensive homes that sell. So let's say we hit a month where, maybe there's 3 or 4 $10 million properties that sell. That will yank the average sales price up significantly, but it will not impact the median sales price nearly as much. So that's why I usually pay a little bit more attention to the median sales price. All right, so let's dive into these Pinellas County market statistics. Total number of closed sales was 909 homes, which is up 34.5% from 676. Cash sales was up 42.8%, which is not surprising, all these flood damaged homes. Total of 377 homes. Median sales price was up 9.4%. from $436,500 to $477,500. Average sales price was down slightly, 2.6%, to $598,808. Median percent of original list price was down 0.8% to 93.9%. And median time to contract, which is one of the leading indicators that I've been paying attention to the most, was up 30.4%, which sounds terrible, but it went from 23 days to 30 days. That's still very much seller's market. Now, number of new listings, a little bit of a surprise, was up 40.3% from 704 homes to 988 homes. That's a pretty significant jump. And I'll kind of touch on that and the closed sales again, because I think it's important to see. Active inventory was up 32.6% from 2,100 homes last year to 2,801 homes. And month supply or absorption rate is 3.4. That month supply at 3.4, that's in line with that median time to contract of 30 days. That is, seller's market. If it goes a little higher, it's going to start to hit neutral market. And just to recap, total number of closed sales was 909. New listings was 988. So we only added about 80 houses. Last year, we sold 676 homes and listed 704. So you can see that we are up across the board so far as closed sales and new listings, although we did add a little bit more inventory than last year. Now, what'll be interesting to see with that is as we get further into springtime and all the buyers return, what the number of listings do. If those closed sales, what usually happens is closed sales goes up and it outpaces the number of new listings, which means active inventory comes down. And then that's when we see median home price really starting to go up. So how does our current median sales price compared to the last 12 months? Well, the peak of the market was in June, and that was $489,000. We came down to $475, $460 in October, and then we bounced back up again since the hurricanes. Median sales prices bounced up $460, $475, and now we're at $477. And that is, if you had asked anybody in the summertime, hey, 2 hurricanes coming through, what's that going to do to the home market? No one, including yours truly, would have predicted that. But here we are. Now, I do like to break down the different price points because a $1 million house sells with a little bit different time frame than a $400,000 house. It's primarily due to the buyer pool. There's just more buyers in that $400,000 price point than there are in the $1 million price point. But basically, number of sales is up across the board. 150 to 200,000 is up 11.8% in 19. 400 to 600,000 is up 41% to 289. 600 to $1 million is up 78.3% to 214. And $1 million or more was up 15.2% to 91. And remember, this is over the holidays, which is nuts. December is supposed to be quiet. Median time to contract is about what you expect. The lower price points are super quick. The higher price points take a little bit longer. So like 150 to 200,000, 15-day time to contract. 300 to 400,000, 41-day time to contract. And $1 million or more, 49 days time to contract. Number of listings, again, not surprisingly, everything is up across the board. A lot of that is because December of last year was like a record lows so far as number of houses listed, number of houses sold. So December 2024, there's a little bit more going on. 250 to 300,000, 81 houses listed, which is an increase of 118.9%. So in that price point, there were twice as many houses listed for sale compared to last year. 300 to 400,000 was up 42.8% to 197. 600 to $1 million was up 44.7% to 220. And inventory by current list price. So last day of the month, we see how many houses at every price point is for sale. Everything's up across the board. 200 to 250,000 was up 590.9%, total of 76. I like big percentages. They're always fun to talk about. What are those? Those are all those flood damage houses. So are there a lot more houses in that 200 to 250 price point for sale? Yes. Can most people buy them? No, because all of the drywall is torn out up to 4 feet. All the cabinets are gone. You cannot finance that. It's either cash or maybe if you have like some cash backing, you can do a hard money loan or something like that. So that number is a little deceptive. 300 to 400,000 is up 52.2% to 519. 600 to $1 million is up 22.6, and $1 million or more held steady, 507 houses, change of 0.2%. So remember, got to take these numbers with a little bit of a grain of salt because we do have those wide swaths of flood damaged homes. I'll touch on how that's going to affect the market in the analysis section. But again, don't take these as gospel. If you see news stories that are touting crazy numbers, just know that they don't know what they're talking about. So, what can we make of these numbers? Well, first off, wintertime, December, January, February are historically the low points of the market. So it is a little heartening to see that there are more homes going up for sale. There's more sales. It seems that the market is pretty healthy. At least it has not detonated, which is what most people would think that a market would do after two hurricanes come through. On the flip side, there are a large number of damaged homes that are going up on the market. And overall, the question is, are those homes going to hang around long enough to really drag down the perception of home values in the area? So far, that has not been the case. The other interesting thing that always happens whenever you have a storm like this, and like I've been through this myself personally and have experienced it, what happens is neighborhood gets damaged. It looks terrible for some length of time. There's trash piled up everywhere. There's containers everywhere and all this stuff. As that neighborhood returns to normal, what happens is you get a new cycle of home buyers and renters into the market that do not have that memory of actively looking for houses and seeing that section being flood damaged. Is my recommendation to, lie and say that your flood damaged house was not flooded? Absolutely not. But as I say, time heals all wounds. And what happens is as time progresses, that storm damage wound out on the beaches or, Shore Acres or Riviera Bay, or, even if you're one of the interior homes that just, had a bad roll of the dice with Hurricane Milton and, the water came through the foundation. As the neighborhood, as your house, as the region returns to what it was before the storm, the real estate market also returns to that level. Currently, interestingly, what we have is kind of a split market. We have all of those, large number of homes on the beaches or, closer to waters and creeks and things like that. The walls torn out and, they are priced extremely low. Unfortunately, the only people that can buy those are usually cash investors that are willing to spend the money to buy the house because you can't usually finance it. So they have to buy the house cash and then renovate it. So as more and more and more of those happen, again, the neighborhood will return to pre-storm levels. Then there will be another section of people that put their house up for sale at that big discounted price, and then it doesn't move. And then you will have another section of people that they're trying to sell their house, but it's priced too high, and then they decide just to renovate it. By and large, believe me, it is usually in your interest to restore the house and then sell it. Because if the house is flood damaged, again, the only people that can buy it is cash, and they are not going to pay a premium for a house when there's 30 other houses around it that are in the same condition. It's just simple supply and demand, unfortunately. So at least currently, both Hillsborough County and Pinellas County have been holding steady enough. And I also know in my business, we've had a very good number of people contact us in the last 45, 60 days about buying a house in the first 3 or 4 months of 2025. So the demand is definitely there and coming. By and large, I believe the region will weather the aftermath of Helene and Milton a lot better than, say, Sanibel or Fort Myers. Significantly different prospect. That area took a direct strike, which Tampa and Saint Petersburg did not. But by and large, I think Tampa Bay is going to make it through without too many hiccups or problems. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of encouragement. If you have a specific situation or you have some questions about maybe what you should do, feel free to call me. I've had a few people call me and just be like, hey, do I need to make this super, super nice? Or should I just do the bare minimum to get it to where I can put it up on the market? So it's an excellent question. And the truth is, depends on what your goals are. So again, if you have any questions like that, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. So thank you so much for tuning in to these market statistics. My name is Kyle Sasser. If you would like help finding your own great and amazing home in the Tampa Bay area, I would love to help you out. My phone number that you can reach me at is 727-300-2111. There is also a link in the description down below. You can click on that, choose to book a chat at a time that works best for you. Just traveling around, it's good to see the recovery that both Tampa and St. Petersburg and the beaches have made thus far. And before you know it, I think everything's definitely going to be pretty much back to normal, except for probably Tropicana. That's going to take a while. But once again, my name is Kyle Sasser. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.